Welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome you to MDL Ministries, and I am your host, Dr. Marshall Lee, and we are here with Let's Do More. Y'all know my motto about Let's Do More. It's not enough just to do our regular jobs. It's not enough to just be in the church. We have to get out and get involved in the community. So today we have back again with us our deputy and our sergeant from Harris County Sheriff's Office, and we have Sergeant Hall, Keith Hall, and we have Deputy Renee Dennis. And thank you guys so much for coming back with us.
Thank you for having us.
You shared a lot of information with us on the other day, praise be to God, and the other taping that we did, and it was good information about identity theft, and you talked about grandchildren's, oh Lord, and you talked about all kinds of different things that people are doing out there and that we need to be aware of as a community. Amen. And we're going to talk today about keeping your community, your home safe, and things that you need to watch out for, and things that you need to be mindful and you need to report. Praise be to God. We think we know these things automatically, and most of us think that we'll just call just because. But the truth of the matter is, we get caught up whenever we get too comfortable. So we don't want to ever get too comfortable thinking that we know it all and that we can handle it all, because there are situations that happen to a lot of people that they cannot handle. So today we're going to talk about keeping the community safe and when to call the police. Amen. When to call the police. Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. A lot of people are afraid to call us when, I think they're afraid. I don't know what they're afraid of, but they're afraid to call us sometimes, when they see something that's out of the ordinary or when they see something that they know isn't right.
Right.
Don't be afraid to call us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. That's our job. So,
amen, amen.
Absolutely.
Well, she gave us a lot of conversation last time, so it's on you now.
Oh, I gotta talk a little bit. I mean, just like we were talking earlier, and you were saying be mindful, and some of it is like real small things that you take for granted sometimes. Looking at your home safety areas. You're looking at your shrubbery. Is it trimmed, at the bottom real high up so you can see if someone's feet are at the bottom of there? You want to look at that and make sure they're trimmed neat, not too high and, up
not
from the bottom.
Not covering your windows.
Not covering your windows, because you don't want to have some, or you don't want to have, usually, and speaking of that, you could plant something right there by your windows, a thorn bush, that could help. That could help, a lot, So if you just never know, they get in that thorn bush and, what happened?
Right.
But
there, won't you?
yes, because they'll alert you. They'll be screaming. But you look at your lighting to your home. You making sure that it's lit at night. You might want to have one of those motion lights where it comes on if someone comes to your driveway or sidewalk. It'll pop on, and that'll scare them away. Because let's face it, the crooks, they want to do things in the dark.
Absolutely.
They don't want to do things in the light. So if your house is well lit, they're going to skip that house. They're going to go to the house that's not well lit or doesn't have any type of trim bushes, maybe they look kind of unkept. That's the house they probably going to want to check out and see what's in there. Right. You also want to make sure you keep a car in the driveway if you possibly can, even during the day. If you possibly can. Some people go to work, of course, but you want to leave something there to let them know maybe someone's home. That
with the light on.
Yeah, with the lights on.
Okay.
And not have things, and we'll get to that segment. Not have things out in plain view in your vehicle as well, because they may not want to get to the house, but they can get in that car and see if they got your computer, your phone, anything you change just laying around. Hey, they may want
your
that.
expensive clothing and shoes.
Exactly.
Guilty about keeping shoes in the car. Some of us live in the car because of the long hours we work and whatnot. Purses, wallets.
So anything of that kind that can entice them to want to get inside that car, you want to put that in the trunk, or you want to take it in the house. You don't want to leave it out there in plain view, because it takes nothing just to break the glass and get in there, unlock the door, and do whatever damage they want to do to the car as well.
Right, and they used to didn't steal certain types of cars, but I'm finding that they have no respect for cars.
Yeah,
don't
no,
care.
no,
They don't
no.
care.
They don't
Just
care.
long
No,
as they can get
no.
in it, they're
Right,
going to drive
right.
it.
Exactly.
If they can
exactly.
get in it and
Yeah.
use it to
Right.
get away with, that's what they're going to do.
Gonna
Yeah.
use
Right.
it, absolutely.
Right.
So when we look at our homes, I heard you mention that we need to make sure our shrubbery is trimmed appropriately.
Correct.
We need to make sure that we're able to see below
Correct.
as well as above, and not cover up windows.
Correct.
And cover up our windows or our view. You mentioned that locking the door windows, right? The double
Right.
lock.
You want to have
Okay.
those locked. You will
Okay,
definitely
right,
wanna-
because I know something happened, like I shared with you, and the constable told me, you put these double
Mm-hmm.
locks on your windows, and they literally
Right.
cannot raise them up.
Right.
or
Past like
anything
an inch
that.
or two, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
they can't
Right.
raise mine up at all.
Oh, but that's
At
good.
all, period.
Right.
They got to figure out how to unlock it first, okay? Now, so we have, that's a good thing.
Right.
And then the other thing is that a lot of times houses are built with these locks that you can just twist them, lock, but we need the
Right.
what is it, padlock, not padlock,
It's a
the
double
key-
key
Double key lock. You want to have
yeah,
that,
double key
and
lock.
you want to make sure you have a key to that, but to where you can get out though in case of a fire.
Yeah, and
you
some
know,
people
you-
got the combination.
they have that,
Okay.
but you also and just you want to have an alarm. You know, if you
Yes,
definitely want to have
by
an
all
alarm.
means.
You know, you want to have that. If you got the means to have that, you need to have that. That'll help out. And
Most cars come with it now.
most cars have that, but also a lot of alarm companies now, they're going to the camera things as well. So when you get the alarm, you get the camera
camera.
inside the house. Or we don't endorse different products, but Ring is a good one. That you can look at probably getting. That's most popular out there now.
It's probably one of the
Yeah,
more
yeah.
affordable
Yeah,
camera doorbells
Yeah.
that you could get out there.
I
so.
do.
Okay, I know y'all don't
Right.
endorse it, but what's the
Right.
best one? Tell them out there.
Ring, the
Okay.
Ring
All
system.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So and you can Google that.
Yeah,
It'll come up
and
with
they'll
all the
give you the
information. Yeah.
information.
But also, you want to look at if you just got a front door, wooden door. You want to look at probably putting some kind of storm door.
In
Second,
between.
first.
Yeah, I got one of those.
First, we call that the first line of defense.
Yes.
You put that door where they can't get to your main door, and especially if you got a window by your door, because the way it's supposed to be made is that it's not supposed to be within so many inches from the window where they can just break in and reach in and unlock the door. So if you don't have a window, that's good, or if it's higher up and it's small, they can't
And
get to it.
Shouldn't that door have the double key lock on
Right,
should-
if it has
yeah.
a double
It
key,
should have
then they
that
can't
in-
reach
yeah.
in. If it has
Yeah.
a double key,
Yeah.
and that's a double key is good. Now I know you said like be able to get out in case of a
Case of
fire.
fire, yeah.
You just got to have a key somewhere close by,
Right.
and I mean that
main.
can be done by attaching it to a ribbon and
Right.
maybe paper. Clipping it or stapling it or sewing it to the inside of a curtain that's nearby.
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody to make sure it's long enough, because if there is a fire, you're probably going to be crawling on the ground. So make sure it's long enough where you can grab it
Right.
from the ground, reach up
Yeah.
and do that,
Right, or if you have a vestibule, you might have a little container where you
Yeah,
can,
Right,
something that
right.
you know.
where you can get to quickly.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be too obvious, because you don't want if the criminal comes in through a window, you don't want him to go, oh look, right by the door there's a drawer. Oh look, there's a key. I bet that goes to this door. You don't
Right.
want him to be able to be too, because then they
Right.
can get things and go out that door. Whereas if they can't find the key, then they can't turn the lock because it's double keyed. So now they
Right.
have to go back out the same way they came in, which means
Right.
they're not going to take as much. They can't get as much out that window as they can that door.
Correct.
Yeah, but the number one is having an alarm.
Yeah, and that's
have an
definitely
alarm.
Do that,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Not
active.
everyone can afford that, but if
yeah,
you can
but
do
it-
that,
Yeah,
yeah, but if
yeah.
you
If you
can-
get active alarm system, yeah.
Yes.
Now we got so many people being killed by guns,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of those are out of the house, but there's a lot inside the house. What are you experiencing at this time with that situation? And just tell us a little bit about that.
I know
safety.
a few years ago, I'm gonna say about maybe 3 years ago, we had an uptick of children being harmed by guns, laying around in the home. I had this one young lady, her child was killed. She was over at a relative's home and got a hold of a pistol that they were playing with, and shot and killed her child. And she formed a foundation, so I helped her out with that. And it was a great deal that she had going for her, because the child was only like 3 years old. You know, it was sad, but yeah, it's just you gotta let these your children know. You have to, as an adult, you have to be responsible for if you have a gun, you have to put it in a safe.
Yes.
You have to have it locked up.
Just having it in your nightstand drawer is
Right,
not
no,
safe. I know a
no.
lot of people think, well, that's where I need it if I need to get to it, but the kids will find it, and that's not safe at all.
They're playing all over the house.
Right.
So if they're doing that, and you got a gun hidden somewhere where you think you only want to know where it is, well, they're gonna find it, like Deputy Dennis said. They're gonna find it, and if you never talk to them about what they need to do when they find a gun, if you send them over to a relative's house, like this child
Yes, it
happened,
just got killed.
so you need to know, don't touch it, get away, go get an adult, and let them know that the gun is there. So you have to teach them that, because if you let them go somewhere, and you're not there, what happens,
You may
So
have
you
your
wanna
house
educate,
safe
yeah.
and you've got your gun locked away, but what about when he goes
Yeah.
to his friends or his
Yeah.
maybe
Or
even family
his
sometimes?
family, yeah.
So, you
Yeah,
need to be sure
so-
to teach your kids, and that is something we teach the kids when we go out to
Yeah.
different schools and
Right.
stuff. We teach them, don't touch it, go tell a grown-up, and that way the
Right.
grown-up can handle it.
Yes.
So, you
And
need
let
to
them
make
take
the
it
kids
from there.
prepared.
Yeah. So you definitely got to educate them as well. You just can't, and the adults definitely have to be more responsible, for if they're a gun owner, they need to secure that gun.
And yeah, because I'm just blown out the water that we live in a day where we can just carry guns and just do. It's just an open gun, law that
Yeah.
we just walk around like we're in the Wild Wild West somewhere,
Right.
and we're still shooting up cowboys
Oh, yeah,
and Indians,
yeah,
and it
it's-
just doesn't make
it's-
sense because there's more people that are dying at the hands of guns now. They're more
Absolutely.
accessible.
Absolutely.
And then we seeing that law is not necessarily the greatest law and the most beneficial law for humankind at this
Yeah.
hour.
But you have to remember, it's not guns that kill people, it's
Yeah.
people that
No,
kill.
it's not guns that kill people,
Yeah.
but kids don't know
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
And in a fit of anger,
Mm-hmm.
we're not thinking.
Right.
And so
They-
the easier we can assess
go-
them, the higher the risk becomes that we may
Right.
use them.
Yeah.
And that's
And if
any
they-
of us. That's not just. That's anybody
Yeah,
in a fit
yeah,
of rage.
yeah.
In a
And
fit of
they-
rage,
they-
that could be
they're-
anybody. It doesn't give you time to think it out.
No.
Because it's right here.
It's right
Like
there.
yours,
and
yours.
They, yeah.
Okay.
And they'll
It's
pull
right
it out,
here. Yeah.
and I'm going to use it.
Exactly.
And that's what
Especially
they
if
think.
I feel like I'm going to be in danger,
Yeah,
or
exactly,
I feel
exactly.
maybe depending on my personality, if I just feel offended enough.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
so we definitely need to educate our kids. If I had my way, kids wouldn't even see the guns because
Right.
it's just a temptation, and it makes it very, very difficult. They
Right.
come to school with them. They're shooting up kids in the schools,
Right.
in the colleges, in
Right.
daycare. I mean,
It-
we're out of control with this gun thing.
It is, like with my kids. I having been a gun owner and being a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
well, I had to get that curiosity out of their system.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to let them see it. I had to let them hold it. I had to let them feel it, see how it feels. Even took them to the range,
Right.
let
Right.
them shoot it. But you take that curiosity. Now, I'm not saying, I'm responsible. I'm responsible that I'm a gun owner, so I knew what I needed to do, just in case they went somewhere else and around some friends, like Deputy didn't say, well, let's play with that gun. Well, they know what this gun can do,
And you have to do that because that's your work.
Right.
But
right.
I'm thinking of the person who does not work in law enforcement.
Right. Yeah.
The kid
yeah.
already got some stuff going on.
Right, and they get a hold of a pistol.
Family might have some stuff going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I got- I
This is the
understand.
day that they're clashing.
Right.
And tomorrow he's going to school.
And he's with a pistol.
Okay, with a pistol.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Or a rifle.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what any type of firearm.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
That he can take out more than one person in one round.
Right. Yeah. And
So those things we have to think about because when you have it as a job, to me, this is Marshall and nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
but when you have a job that then you have to educate your children what you do,
right, correct.
and of course you'll be responsible and take liability
Correct,
for that.
correct.
But a child can be angry, get upset, not know, go do something. The other side of that is once that child commits murder or homicide or whatever the case is, their life is ruined.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
and you can't say I'm sorry and then
No.
wipe it away. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
On
change
both sides of the
anything.
fence.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now you got one dead
Right.
or injured or paralyzed or whatever the case is.
Right.
And then you have the other one who has to live with that
Right.
and will be thrown into jail or incarcerated. And for how long?
Right. And
Because
yeah,
you can't pay for life.
Right.
Right.
No, you can't. You can't by no means. And when we go talk to students, we go to different schools, different grades, and we talk to students. One thing we tell them, hey, if you play with this gun and you pull this trigger and the bullet comes out, you can't take that bullet
You
back.
can't take it back.
You can't take it back. Wherever it's going to go, it's going to destroy.
Right.
So if you make that decision to do that, that's it's 2 lives is going to be destroyed.
Right.
So by no means, we tell them, hey, do not play with guns at all.
Yeah.
And we try to, come at them from that angle, try to talk to them, reasonably, because some of them are especially middle school kids, you want to get to them a little bit more, but, it
I
happens.
remember back in
I'm
the
sorry.
day, you better not touch that gun because
Yeah.
I said so,
Yeah.
and you don't need to know nothing about that
Yeah.
gun. You better keep your hands
Yeah.
off of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you better keep your hands because I'm going to tear you behind.
Yeah.
That's all we needed,
And
though.
that's all we
Yeah.
needed because
Yeah.
I wasn't going to touch that gun. I wasn't going to look
Yeah.
at that gun. I
You
don't
wasn't
even
gonna
want that
even-
gun in the house
right,
no more.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're right.
But now
You're
it
right.
seems like the
just
kids are
serious.
more
Right.
curious and
They're
they
more
want to know.
curious.
Well, mom or daddy said I can't do that, so I wonder
And
why.
the
I
laws
want to know more about it.
and the laws that we
Yeah.
have to live under to raise them are different too. Because
Yeah.
one time, in past time, just a spanking would do.
Right,
But because of the
right,
abuse and all
right.
that, now it's a different story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not in where I'm at. Where I'm at, we still do what we need to do. Because I
Yeah.
tell my kids, I say, look, it's better I do. Well, my grandchildren, it's better I do it than when you get out there, y'all have to do it.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I can't see it. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, I ounce of prevention better than a pound of cure. We have to deal with the reality. That's part of
So-
training our children, and our culture is constantly changing, and they're constantly exposed
Absolutely.
to so many various
Yeah.
different type of temptation.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
we have to take the responsibility as children, as adults rather, to train them and make them
absolutely,
informed.
yeah.
Then I think too, the other thing is that a lot of children wouldn't do a lot of things if the parents were more attentive to them.
Yes, sometimes that's. a big
Sometimes our
issue.
jobs take us away from
Right,
them.
right.
Sometimes just our different personalities. Sometimes we figure, hey, he don't want to be bothered. She don't want to be bothered.
Right.
I don't want to be bothered either. So they'll be grown after a while.
Right.
Sometimes it's dad leaves, mom leaves. Now everybody, the kid got to bear the burden.
Right,
Whatever the
right,
reason
right.
is, we don't spend the
it's-
same time. We don't have
Exactly.
everybody's at the table doing
Yeah.
this at the same table.
You got
And
the
you
latchkey
touching the person
kids.
next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So
Yeah,
there's
so,
various things, and I think that if parents would take more time with their children, not to just teach them, but to befriend them and get them and have them become their confident once again.
Yes.
And put that respect back in order.
Right, correct,
I don't
yeah.
have to give you a real detail. Your teacher got to give you a detail. I don't
Yeah.
really have to give you a detail because I pay the rent, the house note,
Exactly.
the gas, the lights, buy the clothes. I know I'm old fashioned, but it's all right. It's all right.
On that same note, along training the kids, one thing that kind of can drive us crazy, I know, is if you train your kids, the police are here to help you, and that we are your friend. We're here. That's what our job is, to help you.
Right.
But then when you're in the store and I hear somebody say, if you don't behave, that police officer is going to take you to jail, and then all you've done is make the child scared.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta weigh it and figure out, because really we don't want the children to be scared of us. We want
Correct.
the children to be comfortable coming to us if they need
Correct.
help.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing that we try and do, anytime I hear that, I get down on my knees on the kids'
Yeah.
level and try and let them know, look,
We-
no, I won't take
Yeah,
you
we
to jail.
cringe at that when we hear that,
Yes.
and I'd be like, "No, I'm not gonna take him to jail or her to jail. I'm, gonna
We
talk
don't-
to the kid.
yeah.
I don't want him to be afraid of me or her to be
Exactly.
afraid of me. Hey, want to feel like they can come to me for help or whatnot. So yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because today we have so much fear of law enforcement. And obviously we have with the fear because of how things are and how things are perceived to be. And of course, I always say media always escalate everything. They got to sell it, you know what I'm saying? But the real deal is that it's time for us to bridge those great gaps, because when your children are afraid of the police, then it almost drives them into deviant behavior. And we don't want that, you know.
Right,
we
right.
want them to feel safe. And so I think that part of that is being able to expose them to policemen early in life. Like
Right.
my son, growing up, when he ran away from home because I tried to beat him to death. I did. I just tell the truth. They didn't have all these laws now. Okay, he a preacher today. Been preaching a long time. All right,
Then you did something right.
I did good.
Yeah,
I
did something
good.
absolutely
He's an
right.
excellent husband and a marvelous father.
Right.
But the thing is that when he did run away, 'cause after that beating, that was the only time he ran away. He ran to a policeman's house. And that's where he stayed until the policeman talked to him and come back home.
Right.
Yeah, and because he wasn't afraid of them.
Right,
You
and-
see what I'm
and-
saying? They
and-
had
and
a
he went
bonding.
to-
Right.
yeah,
It was a friend.
and that
in
was
our
good.
neighborhood,
That was
we
good.
let our children be exposed to various
Yeah.
people. I mean, they could meet people. They had relationships. You know what I'm saying? Where they knew this one, they knew the judge or whatever. Judge Maybelline, she was our prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of things, you know, and they knew that they would be safe.
Right,
In
right.
in that place, you know, probably safer than I was at the time. But anyway,
And that's part of what we do in community services.
Yeah, and
we
I was
do
gonna
go
talk
out
about
to
that,
different
yeah.
schools, daycares, and we talk to them and we let them know, that we're there to help them.
Yeah.
And we let them know that, that even though they may be scared of us just because we wear, different stuff, just
but they're scared too because of everything.
Right.
Everything.
Right, that's
it's
going
a,
on.
it's a collaboration of everything,
Right,
a
right.
combination of everything. And then I think that is great. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that's great because when they see you there and they see that you're not there to hurt them,
Right.
then they're more than likely to utilize your services.
or that we're not there to take them off to jail.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, sometimes that's the only time they encounter us is when we're coming take their uncle, maybe their parents, or somebody that has broken the law. We're taking them to jail,
Right.
and they see that. So now we're the bad people because we took their parents to jail, their uncle. And I mean they're
And they don't understand the whole ramification of why they even went to jail. a lot
Right,
of
exactly. They
times,
just
right?
think
Perspective is-
Yeah,
yeah.
they're because it's minimized because
Right.
they don't
Right.
understand. They can't understand,
Right.
and
Right.
there's nobody trying to explain why.
Correct.
Correct. So the parents
Correct.
gonna say the police wrong, police gonna say they wrong, and
Yeah.
kids confused
Yeah.
about who's
Right.
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 So we have to try to bridge those gaps though.
Absolutely.
You said something earlier.
Yeah.
You said that Harris County has a program called Home Inspection. They will absolutely come out to your house and they will tell you what you need to do to
Right,
improve
right. So
the safety of your house.
So that's one of our programs that we do within the county. If you live in Harris County, we service that area. You can call us and we'll come out and do a home inspection. Now we do have a list,
No, go
and
ahead.
that you go on and we'll do like a home inspection to give you the sheet. Now here's the deal with that. Once you get that, you can turn it in to your insurance company, and they'll give you a certain percentage off on your home if you had that inspection done. But it's up to that insurance. All insurance companies don't do it. They don't do it. So I don't know. I can't tell you who all does it and who all don't. But whatever insurance carrier you have, they may say, yeah, we'll take that and give you like a percentage. I think it's like 5%, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
worth a try. Saving
Yeah.
some
Right.
money. Yeah,
Every
that's
little
worth a
bit
try.
counts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one last thing we want to talk about is the purses. Women don't carry those big old purses. Those big old purses are a target for a thief. And we leave them open, unzipped. People can easily go down in them, right? They can snatch them. They're on your shoulder. They pull the purse. They pull you with it, okay? Some of the purses are bigger than the people that's carrying them. So make sure that you keep yourself safe. When you go to the store, you need an ID, you need some license, and you need a card or your cash with you in order to go to the store. You don't need the whole kitchen sink and all the children's toys. All you need is just that, all right? So please be mindful of how how you carry yourself. In this hour, as I started the show, saying that we are trying to do more to aid and empower people how to live a safer life. We don't know what day is the last day, but the days that we do have, we want to enjoy them. We want to stay in good health. We want to stay alive. Amen. And we definitely
Amen.
want to be safe. So please make sure you get this information. Call the Sheriff's Department in your state, wherever you stay, your city, your county, and they will be glad to assist you and give you any information that you want. I want to tell you again, we appreciate our guests and we thank you so very much for listening to Let's Do More. We want to thank our Sergeant Keith Hall. We want
Thank you,
to
Dr.
thank
Lee.
Deputy. You're welcome, and Deputy Renee, Dennis, we want to thank y'all so much. It was a long time coming, but these kind of shows I like to have periodically because we got to live in reality. Hello, somebody. I know I talk about Jesus all the time, and that is, I make it relevant to our lives on an everyday basis, but we need to know what's happening in the world. We might be in the world and not of the world, but while we in here, we need to know about it. So we need to understand what is available to us and how to protect ourselves. I want to thank all of our sponsors and thank you for all of our shows this week. We in particular want to thank J. Chestnut and Associate, our nonprofit consulting expert who does great things throughout the country to help nonprofits and pastors and churches to do the kingdom work of God. We want to tell you thank you from the bottom of our heart, Mr. Chestnut, for all that you do. If you need non-profit consulting services of any kind. If you don't know how to file your taxes and you're in ministry, if you're having a difficult time with your budget, if you're having a difficult time with getting your paperwork in order to be able to receive contributions, donations, and grants, you need to make a phone call, and that is to James Chestnut III, and that is at 281-441-4431, or you can reach him at www.jamechestnut.com. You can reach him and he'll be glad to set up a consultation with you. It's free. You cannot beat a free consultation. Just call and let him talk to you. He is an expert. He's referred by many of your attorneys and many of your CPAs. Nonprofit is the entity all by itself and is a specialty all by itself. The company has been in business 30 years. I want to again thank you so very much. I am your host, Dr. Marshall Lee. One of the things I want to tell you is that God wanted you to live a full life. He wants you not to abort your process. He wants you not to be aborted in life at all. So why not accomplish all that he's called you to do? And why not accomplish it in the timely fashion in which you have? The Bible says that we fade away and that life is like a vapor. Don't let yours be snuffed out over something silly. Stay safe and have a great week.